Hello, everyone. Welcome to Pivotal Voice. I'm your host, Alexx Alexander. Today we have a very special guest, Mr. Nick Jordon. He recently ran for Waxahachie ISD School Board Place 1 against 3 other candidates. That's right, 3 other candidates. That's a lot. Usually it's 1, but he actually had 3, so he had to fight through a lot more than what I did. Introducing the one, the only, Mr. Nick Jordon. Welcome to Losers Club, Nick.
Thank you, Alex. Appreciate being here.
Well, I really appreciate you being here. So this show is our very first show. We're really happy to have you here on our first show. And me and you spend a lot of time outside in the heat.
Yes.
Speaking and talking about things. You give me a lot of info on running and things like that. So I just got some questions for you. We're going to talk about it, get in depth about the experience that you had.
Sure.
When it came to running public office. Are you ready, Nick?
Oh, of course, all the way.
All right, so let's go a little bit about the past, Nick. I'm seeing you graduated Waxahachie High School in 1979.
Yes, I did.
This is a fun question. So, Nick Jordon, leaving senior year, 1979, driving your Caprice Classic or driving your Chevy Nova down 77, what are you listening to?
What am I listening to in 1979? A lot of disco and classic rock.
Disco. Okay, so
the Bee Gees were big, and Donna Summer and all those people, along with ZZ Top and Foghat and Bad Company and all those guys, the bands were around. So listening to that a lot.
What was your favorite at that time?
My favorite at that time was probably Foreigner.
Ooh, Foreigner.
I love Foreigner.
Your experience in high school in 1979 compared to what you see now, what is the difference that you see in the experience that you had? Yes.
Waxahachie or?
Waxahachie now
okay.
and Waxahachie back then.
Back then, Waxahachie was probably a population of about 14,000 people. So a lot smaller, a lot more community involvement than what we see now. I mean, we had carnivals here on the square that were put on. We had concerts on the square. People would come out. We had a roller skating rink.
We had a roller skating rink?
We had a roller skating rink where Wayne Bowe's funeral home is right now.
That makes sense.
That was a roller skating rink. Yes.
Okay, well, that's that. Hey, where'd you go? We're going to the death house and the roller skating rink at the same time.
So Waxahachie back then was a quieter town. It had the hometown thing where you could leave your doors unlocked and your cars unlocked in your garage and in your driveway. So, and I could ride my bicycle anywhere. You know, even though I had a car, I rode my bicycle everywhere. I rode it out to what's now the old country club, because I love to play golf.
Not there anymore, is it?
Not there anymore. Well, it's there, but it's not in very good shape. So we had the bowling alley, of course, next door.
Yeah.
And Waxahachie really ended with the old high school out there. That was the end of Waxahachie, right there at the old high school.
Well, that makes a lot of sense because now it's not even a school at all.
I know. It's gonna. The joke we always had, because it didn't have windows, it was prison. Because if you look at the building, there are no windows, and it does resemble a prison.
Well, you know, some people don't like school for certain reasons, and I would possibly say that is one of the reasons why. But, you know, we're going to move on a little bit. Your father was a very well-known person in the Waxahachie community. Tell us a little bit about your father.
Dad, for anybody listening that don't know, my dad was named Buck Jordon. He was always involved in the community. He came from a very poor family on Ross Street with 6 brothers and sisters.
6 brothers and sisters.
3-room house.
A 3-room house?
A 3-room house over on East Ross.
Hold on, before we go any further with that, what you just said. We say we have a 3-bedroom house. That means you have a kitchen, living room, garage, backyard, front yard. You said a 3-room house.
Kitchen, living room, bedroom.
That's it.
That's it.
Yes.
Yes, the house is still standing today.
Where is it located?
It's on East Ross. I believe the address is 209 East Ross.
Okay, so
I spent a lot of my childhood there. So Dad grew up. He graduated from Waxahachie in 1951, and then was in the Army for several years. Never got deployed, but he was in the Army, and then came back. Graduated from SMU as an engineer. Went to work for Southwestern Bell as an engineer. until he was forced to retire in 1984.
I was 4 years old at that time, Nick.
Yeah, well, thank you very much. I was 24. So he retired, and a week later, he took over the Waxahachie Chamber of Commerce.
Really?
And at that time, the old Waxahachie Chamber of Commerce was down there on College Street, right across from, right next to Dr. Robinson's office.
Yep, I know where that is.
The little yellow. Little
Yes,
house.
sir.
That was the original Chamber of Commerce.
Okay,
And
wow.
through Dad's work, it moved out to behind the YMCA, the brick building.
And it's still there
It's now
currently
a
right now.
chiropractor's office.
Oh, no, it's not there anymore. It's right. It moved to the new building we
Yes.
have downtown. So your father was also mayor of Waxahachie.
He was mayor of Waxahachie until he passed away in 2014 of cancer.
How long was he the mayor?
He was the mayor, I know of, at least 5 years.
So you grew up in the household. You grew up in Waxahachie. You've been around Waxahachie so much. You've seen the changes. You've seen the greatness and the worst things about Waxahachie. And your father was a leader in our community. So is that one of the things that inspired you to run for the school board?
Yes, it was. You know, I was very involved when I was growing up too. You know, I was public address announcer for Waxahachie for 33 years after I graduated and quit playing sports. And then I was the athletic booster club president in 1992 when Waxahachie won its one and only state football championship.
We'll take, all we need is one, Nick.
All we need is one. That put us on the market. That put us on, you know, we there. So he always taught me about being very active in the community.
Uh-huh.
So I served on my board at the church, and I spoke out, especially at school board meetings. I would come in there, and the first thing they would ask me was like, Nick, how much money do you want now to help rebuild tennis courts, put lights on tennis courts, remodel Richards Park, remodel Lumpkin Stadium to what it is today? So I was very involved in that and kind of the spearhead on trying to get that bond package through.
And it went through.
It went through barely, but it went through.
But we have an amazing stadium here in Waxahachie. It is beautiful.
Yeah.
A lot of people have family that just moved here, and they actually, I had family that visited from Seattle, Washington.
Right.
They saw that stadium and thought it was like almost a college stadium. I mean,
well, be glad they didn't play in it when I did, when it was a lot worse.
oh, so were you pretty good at football, Nick? You think?
I was decent at football, but too many injuries I suffered. But I was a better baseball player.
See, I would rather play baseball. My son's a big guy. Hey, Kingston, we love you, bud. He's 5 years old. He's almost taller than me, so I would rather him play baseball or anything else but football, but I think he's gravitating to football.
I was drafted by the White Sox out of high school.
Are you serious? So would you say right now, if me and you went outside, that you would beat me in baseball?
Yes, I would. I would be a pitcher, and you're going to be the batter. I guarantee you I'll strike you out at least once.
I would say every time because my hand-eye coordination is terrible. Well, we're gonna go to another question. All right, looking back at the race, Nick, what qualities do you think voters should consider when choosing school board members?
That's a really good question. They should consider the quality of the school district. A lot of people don't look into the school district to see what ratings they are in the state. And they really need to look at that. So we both know Waxahachie has some difficulties in some of the ratings with some of the schools. But the people of Waxahachie, unfortunately, even today, are still triggered into the good old boy network.
Yeah.
And we both know that.
100%.
100%. That's what got me beat. Absolutely got me beat. But they don't look at the details that need to be done, look at the budgets that Waxahachie has to work within. Now, Waxahachie, yes, does have a balanced budget, but it hasn't always been that way. So they need somebody who's going to be a dynamic person in the community.
Not just popular.
Not just popular. A dynamic person who has ideas from marketing, from HR, from staffing, from budgets and accounting. They don't look at those kind of things a proper candidate has to offer.
That makes a lot of sense, Nick, a lot. Well, we're going to go to our next question. So if you had been elected, once again, guys, this is the Losers Club, so and obviously I'm a part of it, Once again, I am not just a member, I'm the president, so remember that. So if you've been elected, what changes or priorities would you have focused on to improve education in Waxahachie?
Well, I would have focused more on teachers. Is what I would have done. Waxahachie built this beautiful student counseling center for students with issues that they need to go talk to counselors, but they've never built anything for the teachers. This is a stressful job as being a teacher. And so at the end of the day, they need to have somebody they can go to vent their frustrations about what's going on. Principals are not normally trained how to handle counseling and HR issues.
No.
They're not. It's not in their job description. So my suggestion was to build a teachers counseling center that each school had a dedicated counselor and a dedicated HR member from the administration that teachers could call.
So pretty much like an aid to the teachers, a teacher's aid, actual aid.
Making sure that we try to retain the good teachers that we have, because we all know it's getting harder and harder to find teachers.
So speaking of that, the aspect of teachers, the quality of teachers truly matters. Now, students and parents, we're going there. We're going there, Nick.
Yes.
Teachers and parents. What do you think the correct mindset for parents when it comes to their students?
Well,
your opinion would be to have a successful school year and also to treat teachers with respect.
My opinion on that is parents don't need to be so entitled and making their children entitled.
Okay, before you go any further, you're going to repeat that one more time again. You're going to say that a little bit louder, with a little bit more bass in your voice. Say that again, Nick.
A little more bass. Parents don't need to be so entitled nowadays, and they don't need to teach their children to be so entitled that they don't respect the teachers and the administration. As a PA announcer, I see it in sporting events. Last year, I saw more parents and athletes ejected from games because of attitude.
Wow.
Of pushing coaches, pushing referees, parents coming onto the field and just making total nuisances of themselves when it's not. These are kids. At the end of the day, this is a game.
So, Nick, I want you to tell us the worst story that you dealt with that last year. Give me one maybe the one that bothered you the most.
Let's see. The one that bothered me the most was, let me think. When it came to parents or students.
Either one. The one that stood out to you the most, that really just made you go like this, shake your head. You know, when you see a horrible story that bothers you, you get mad and you just go.
I know. And this goes back to when I was a youth umpire here in Waxahachie. And I'm doing all ages from T-ball all the way up to high school. And now this was a coach pitch game.
Uh-huh.
And
so these are what age group?
These are like 8-year-old kids. And the parents that they have are some of the worst behaved parents. This is a game. They're yelling at me. I had one parent actually threaten me when I walked off the field.
Like to beat you up, or
yes, because of the game I called, and his son's team did not win.
Oh.
So my job as an umpire out there is also to teach kids how to play the game of baseball. And so to have parents jump me walking out to my vehicle, of treating me like, I'm garbage because their child didn't win. And that, umpires are human. We make mistakes.
Yes.
I make mistakes all the time. But you have to understand that parents don't look at umpires as human beings. They're robots to get the game right no matter what. And if their child does not win, they portray that attitude, and that falls to the children now.
And that's not okay, because
That's
just because you didn't play, you didn't do anything, doesn't mean you have to treat your kids that way.
Now, as far as a player, I saw one last year at a game where, hot shot player. You could tell this kid was good. But his attitude on the field, and when he hit a ball for a home run, the bat flip was unbelievable.
Explain a back.
That's when you have
flip.
the home run and you do something with it, like in the major leagues. They'll flip the bat. Or this kid launched it about 20 feet in the air.
Whoa!
Could have hurt somebody. And so, but they're being taught that. They're seeing their pro athletes do that, and their parents are not saying, "Hey, don't show up the other team." That's the greatest thing about when I grew up and learning how to play baseball. I was taught by a former major league catcher and coach. You never show up your opponent.
Wow.
If you do something good, walk off the field with dignity. And do that. And that's not being taught anymore.
Also humbleness as well.
Yes, it is.
Be humble. Yes, that's key. I see that a lot. I mean, especially youth sports, but we hope we have a resurgence of change and integrity in the future. But Nick, we're about to get a little dirty.
That's fine.
You ready to get dirty, Nick? I hope you took a shower today.
I did. Yes, I did.
All right. Let's talk about election results.
Okay.
All right. So for fairness, once again, this is the Losers Club.
Yes.
And I'm a loser. So we're going to talk about mine, then we're going to talk about yours.
Yes.
All right. Election results. Me and Nick were in two different categories. I ran for city council, seat 1. He ran for school board, seat 1.
Seat
2. I'm sorry, seat 2.
Seat 1, you're
See,
right.
see, look at that.
Yes,
I'm psychic. Look at that. Yeah,
Got
seat 1. So we're both number 1s, and we became number 4s. That's how it works. So my results, Alexx Alexander with 33.09% of the vote, 494 votes I got for a first-timer.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Trace Atkins. Shout out to Trace. What's up, man? Good to see you. Your shrimp is delicious, by the way. 999 votes, 66.91% of the vote. Did I cry about it? No. Do you know who cried about it, Nick? That little guy right there. My son cried more than I did.
Yeah.
Very grateful I tried. I feel like for my first time, I did pretty good.
You did good.
Very good. Now, let's talk about your numbers.
Okay.
Are you ready, Nick? You went against Gary Fox and Daniel Hobbs. We're going to go with Daniel Hobbs. Daniel Hobbs received 23.91% of the vote. Gary Fox received 53.51% of the vote, and we're going to talk about exact numbers. Daniel Hobbs got 450 votes. Gary Fox got 1,007 votes. Nick Jordon, you got 22.58% of the vote with 425 votes.
Right.
Now, when you look at the numbers, the percentages to me, they don't look so bad.
No.
When you look at the actual numbers,
Yes.
it's a different story. So we literally had 2 races where less than 3,000 people or less than 4,000 people voted in the city of, what, 50,000?
50,000 people.
50,000 people. If those numbers are any, and these people make decisions for your city.
You're right.
So there is a big disclaimer about what's going on with our numbers in the city politics, number one. I'm going to say this first, get on my horse real quick.
Sure.
There's a pool we have in town recently. The board voted not to have people out of town can come in our pool anymore.
Yes.
People were extremely upset.
Yes.
But guess what? Nobody wants to be on the boards. Nobody wants to vote the correct way in the city to have the change that you may want in the city. So the reason why I bring up these numbers is because we are part of the Losers Club, but guess what? We need help. You have to support people in the city, support the city. More people care about Trump, Biden, they care about Kamala Harris than your taxes in your city,
Yes.
than what schools your kids are going to go to, what type of pools we have, what our streets, or what's coming to town like Target, Walmart.
Right,
That's jobs. They're more concerned about Trump. They're more concerned about those things than compared about what's actually happened in your living room, in your backyard.
You're right.
So let's talk about those numbers. So how do you feel about getting that 425 vote?
Well, disappointed. More about finishing in third place than anything else. Because and Gary Fox and I have known each other for 50 years. We've been friends for 50 years. Daniel Hobbs, I just met. Kind of a controversial campaign. He ran and everything like that.
So let's talk about it. Once again, this is a podcast.
Yes, it is.
We can talk about stuff. We can get in depth.
I want to say.
Whatever you want to say, whatever you feel comfortable with. How do you feel about what controversy you felt he gave that was unprofessional that you did not like?
The only unprofessional thing I saw was the moving of signs. Your signs got moved.
Yep.
My signs got moved. I can't prove who did it, but should never happen in this. I saw some unprofessional things that happen within the administration of Waxahachie. Of supporting and outright campaigning for candidates.
Oh,
that should not happen.
So you feel that's not something that that's
unethical.
Oh,
it is by Texas state law for a sitting person on a board to be out campaigning or even convincing somebody to run is unethical.
Okay.
Nobody asked me to run. I did it on my own. And I talked to people about it. So it's not like somebody came to me and say, hey, we want you to run for school board. No, I did it on my own. But I just thought some of the things that went on behind the scenes were unethical.
Okay. The next question when it comes to that, people being unethical. When you ran and you were outside in the heat every day, do you feel there's a better way to possibly campaign besides sweating yourself to death and changing shirts every 15 minutes?
In a small town, well, I'm going to say small town. It's not really a small town. I still think that's an important part, especially during early voting. I really do. Now, my opponent, Mr. Hobbs, he did not do any campaigning early voting.
Okay.
And so it must have worked for him.
Yeah. But he only got 25 more actual votes than you.
Yeah,
that's it.
True. So that wasn't really the big deal. My problem with the way I ran mine is I was basically one person like you.
Yep.
We can only be at one spot.
Yep.
And with multiple polling places, it's hard. Where my opponent, Gary Fox, love him to death, good friend, he had an entire family that he could position out at those different places.
You had a community.
Yes.
You can say family, still community. So you had a community, yes.
Yes. So, but that's nothing against him. He ran a good race. He and I talked every morning about what was going on in the race and what we felt. I just think that because of some of the circumstances, like I mentioned earlier, that gave him an edge.
So looking back at the election, what do you think influenced the outcome, and what lessons do you think you can learn from it?
Lessons that I can learn from it is, I would have to say, I would have attended more events than I actually attended. I probably needed to be more in the public eye. And also one of the lessons I learned, when I moved back to Waxahachie after my wife passed away, I should have gotten more involved with things going on in the community than what I did. But as a grieving husband, it was kind of hard putting myself back out there. But I should, looking at it, hindsight's 20/20, I probably should have done more. And I should have contacted different people to help me.
Well, Nick, I personally, between me and you, I love the conversations that we had when we're outside, and the times I could be there because I still had to DJ a lot.
Yeah.
So I appreciate all the information that you personally gave me. So I'm going to tell you from the bottom of my heart, thank you.
You're welcome.
For everything you did, and that's why you're one of the first people on the show. Now, this one's going to be kind of hard.
Okay.
What emotions did you experience when the final vote tally came in, and when you saw it with your own two eyes? How did you feel when you saw that?
Actually, you want to know the truth?
The truth.
Relief.
Relief.
That it was over. Because you know what it was like being out there from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. for those 2 weeks, always being on your best behavior.
Always.
Always. No matter where you are, being on your best behavior, smiling, shaking hands, and I don't mind doing that. My dad did it, I do it, but it wears on you after a while.
Yeah.
And then, so that's what I learned, is that, yes, I was relieved when it was over with. Didn't like the outcome, but I was relieved because I had a lot of plans to go forward, and I told some of the school board members some of my plans, which was probably a mistake.
The thing is, you felt victory. You felt vindicated. You felt like it was your time.
Yes.
And unfortunately, I've learned that when this whole experience is, the time is your time. You have no control over that.
Right.
It's a bit of a popularity contest. It's a bit of a political contest. But all in all, people have to like you, and that's one thing I've had to know you more than anything else. It's probably knows more than anything else. But we've got a few more questions left.
Sure.
All right. If you could do your campaign over again, is there anything else that you would change about your campaign?
I probably would have done the one thing that didn't happen during my campaign that I wish would have is a public forum. Mm-hmm. The school board never had a public forum for the candidates except for going to meet before the retired teachers, which is a very small group, and it was Ellis County wide, so it wasn't a whole lot. So if it was me doing it again, I would push for a public forum somehow.
Okay.
So the people can either watch it like they're doing, like the podcast you're doing, or they can actually be in it. And we used to do those.
We need more of that. You have to have people more dialogue than online and leaving comments.
Yeah, because this is not a knock on Gary.
Yes.
We did the speech before the Retired Teachers Association. The first words out of his mouth when he got there, I don't like to speak in person, but my daughter told me I needed to write something down.
Oh. Well, you have to public speak because it's a public speaking type job.
And thank goodness I was the last one to get up and speak. And I had a speech prepared that I memorized and went over statistics and budgets and everything else. But, it's unfortunately, Waxahachie is still the good old boy. Yeah. It is. I used to be called that. When I moved away for so many years and I came back, I'm not that anymore.
You've learned and you've grown as a person.
Yes.
So we have a few more questions left.
Sure.
Would you ever consider running for school board place one again? Why or why not?
Given the right circumstances and if certain people were not on the board, yes.
So you would try again?
I would try again. I'm not a quitter. I'm not.
We're losers, but not quitters. Not quitters. That's right.
Not quitters. I would also, if the situation came up right, run for city council.
Hey.
And I have been asked that plenty of times about city council. The problem with that is being compared to dad. Got you. That's why I've never run for city council.
But you got to remember, you're not your dad.
I'm not.
You're Nick.
What I tell people. And that's what I'm Nick. That was the biggest mystique growing up as being Buck Jordan's son. But I'm Nick. And it took me moving to East Texas for 10 years
realize that.
to figure that out.
Being under the shadow of a great man sometimes is one of the most difficult things.
It is, but I'm also very proud of what he did.
We have a few more questions for you.
Sure.
Okay. Many people don't realize how expensive running for office can be. Can you talk about the financial side of your campaign and how you managed it?
Well, I paid for my entire campaign, and I only spent $750.
That's still $750.
That's still $750.
In this economy today?
In this economy, it's still, especially for a retired person who lives on a
fixed income.
Fixed income. I probably would have looked for more donors if I wanted to, but I felt like since this is my first time to run, I needed to, to me feel good, I need to pay for it myself.
Which makes sense because it's your money. No one can control what you do with it, and there's no outside influence.
Yes.
Well, Nick, I want to thank you so much for being our very, very first guest here on Pivotal Voice. Losers Club.
Losers Club.
We have more to come in this series. Once again, my name is Alexx Alexander, and this is the amazing Nick Jordon. Thank you, Nick Jordon. But before we go, we have question of the day.
Okay.
You don't have to answer this. Not for you. It's for everybody.
Okay.
You get a chance to answer this question. If you could change one thing about your city, what would it be? Think about that and come back to us next time. Thank you guys for joining us today. Thank you, our amazing producers. Thank you guys so much. You guys have a great day. Thank you for listening to Pivotal Voice. You guys have a great day.